Now, the LB jeweler situation is getting a bit confusing at this point because we're not sure who to believe and who's talking Macca. And not going to lie to you, I'm sticking with my UK boys over here because when you understand the whole premises of this situation, then you'll sit there and think to yourself, right, how is this even a possibility and why have things gone down such a way? Now, LB the jeweler has been in, I wouldn't even say in the headlines, but has been in social media for people trying to claim that LB the jeweler has sold fake jewelry, which doesn't make sense when you understand how this jewelry come to this person and who this person technically is. Speaking from not LB's perspective, but another jeweler's perspective on how they feel that this person is trying to deal with the UK.
So some people came in, I guess from England, whatever they are. They brought us this to get appraised at our appraisal office upstairs in our complex. They showed me this, belongs to a jeweler. His name is LB from England. And he made a post that his jewelry was all GIA certified, including this, 0.50s of VVS DEF color. Made that post on his own Instagram, misleading the people that his own stuff is almost night and fake. So just watch out from people like this. You might see their Instagram is fire, but really what's on the inside is all fake. And that's how they get people, and that's how they get rich. Look at the diamonds. They're not even diamonds.
Now, a lot of jewelers have been called out about this in the past of using lab diamonds, moissanite. Moissanite is one of the ones that really does give quite a glow, especially in the way of the colors that you see, especially when light shines on it. And that can only be replicated by top tier diamonds otherwise. But moissanite on tests, when you test it on a diamond tester, it comes back as the actual real thing. So this is what a lot of jewelers are trying to use to increase their profit margins. And a lot of people won't actually check. They'll just say, this is what I've got. I've got my receipt. I've got my paperwork. I've got all of this to make it look like the official thing. Now, also, LB Jeweler responded to this by showing some paperwork about the actual chain. Kalani also posted the actual original post that was on LB the jeweler's actual page. As you can see, this is the original post that they're trying to point out. Unveiled the allure of our 120 carat diamond masterpiece, an opal marvel set in 18 karat gold, E/F VVS clarity. This tennis chain set with 0.050 carat GIA diamonds envisioned by whoever that person's name is. So as you can see, that's the original post of the original chain. And then LB Jewelers has decided to put up this paperwork to say, this is the chain is real, this is what this is. As you can see, this is the certificate which is meant to prove that this chain is real. And someone in the comments has gone, this is not a GIA certificate. The certificate doesn't clarify if it's natural diamonds or lab. Why is the certificate on paper and not on a hard foldable plastic sheet with details? Said it's 18K, but it's 14. Said the color of the diamonds is E/F, but on paper it's F/G. Supposed to be a qualified that knows what they're doing. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, so basically, forget about all the rest I just said a minute ago. But the point being is that people are basically trying to say this isn't true, rah, 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 it's not real. But what gets more confusing about this situation is how the actual jewels ended up in that person's possession for you to then take it to Toronto or Canada to get it appraised. It's kind of confusing. And I'm going to show you this clip so you can understand why I'm so confused by the situation.
This jeweler from Canada is basically onto the man them from the UK. You get me? He had a little... This jeweler from Canada is basically onto the man them from the UK. You get me? He had a little situation with VGKK where they made a pendant, he copied it, but the craftsmanship was absolutely different from it. He went back and forth with Villani a couple times and it was done. Now, clearly, LB's been robbed for his jewelry. Okay, it happens, people get robbed, yeah? Now, somehow it's reached Canada. And as a jeweler, like, especially a jeweler like him, You're not even supposed to be doing things like that. You're abusing your power. You're abusing your power of your voice, because what I say goes. If I say something's El Natural, it's El Natural. If I say it's Labini, it's Labini. You get me? And he's saying that LB's pendant and shit is moissanite, and it's not, because he's proved it. He's shown us the certificate that it's not Mozzies. Do you understand? Now, if Kalani can show that it is Mozzies, show it instead of just saying it. Show it. You get me? You got the scan machine. Scan the pendant and show everybody properly. Don't just say it. Back it up with proof. You feel me? Yeah, man. So that Kalani guy is just a beaky guy, man. He's beaky Asian youth still. Yeah, and even if he
LB basically got robbed. Now these jewels have managed to find their way to Canada, and this jeweler, which they have an actual problem with, should I say, the UK jewelers have a problem with, or it has a problem with our scene, for example, is now in possession of this said chain. So now this supposed jeweler who has a problem with the UK is now trying to make it like LB jeweler, which we all know is has to be one of the biggest jewelers. Not saying one of the biggest jewelers, but one of the biggest jewelers in the culture. Let's be honest. He started off like, I'm not gonna say with nothing, but I'm gonna say he started off and he's built himself up to a to a higher level. Do you get it? Now Canada, or whoever this Kalani guy is from Canada, obviously doesn't like LB, it doesn't like our scene, doesn't like the way our guys do our stuff. Like the guy said, there was a bit of back and forth over a chain which had been made different to the other original or whatever. So we can see that there's a bit of malice and there's a bit of intention to knock down our jewelers, especially like LB, who would be seen to be one of the bigger jewelers in the culture. That's an argument that you can argue amongst yourselves, but it's not. I'm not saying it as a fact. But this just makes me think: why would a jeweler, yeah, who doesn't like the UK scene, and what his argument was something. The last guy was just listening to. His argument was to use the diamond tester, but if it's moissanite, if I'm saying that right, I might be saying it wrong. It's going to show up as diamonds. So I'm not sure on what tests people really want to take, or what side do you really want to pick. Me, I'm gonna stick with my boy LB Jeweler just because he's UK, and the whole fact that he got robbed. Someone took his chain to Canada for them to turn around and say, "Oh no, it's not real diamonds." Kind of seems a bit suspicious to me. Like, okay, the paperwork might not match what people are used to seeing, but this is someone who has been in this game quite a while. And if he was to be found out to have used Mossonite, or we do find out, and I think someone should do it independently. I don't feel like that Kalani should, like he said, he's got a voice. He knows all these people. You're trying to knock people's business when you don't even know the full details. The chain has been robbed from that person. Well, I don't know the ins and outs of how that's all happened, but I'm saying supposedly was robbed from LB Jeweler. But how do you know that was the exact chain he was selling online and he didn't just wear that chain for wherever he's going in the expectation of someone doing that exact same thing? So these are things that people actually have to look at, because people do, like, I remember hearing that, I'm not, allegedly, that celebrities do wear fake watches to certain places, because you know what? How often are you going to really sit there and stack up and look? Do you get, unless they have a picture and people would start to detail, oh yeah, that Rolex looks fake, this looks fake. You're not going to really be able to tell. So don't believe everyone because, oh yeah, they say they've got this watch or that nice watch, they're all real. Some people do go to places and act like they're the boss, but they know they're going to a place where there might be issues, there might be that sort of environment, but they wear watches because they know that they've got the real thing at home and the fake thing on their wrist. So I wouldn't even look at this in any sort of way of LB the jeweler being untruthful or anything like that. I would just see it as someone has robbed him in a place where he might have said, you know what, I'm going to wear this because I know what's going to happen to me. Do you get it? I know that there's a possibility that this could happen. And then when it happened, he went home and laughed and said, you lot got the fake thing, 'cause I still got the real thing at home.
Even if he does the scan and anything comes up as labs, there's nothing wrong with labs. We've all been talking about Labini from months now. Bare of you have got Labinis in your pendant, yeah? Bare people got Labini. Bare man are getting Labini Cubans from Dubai. hella Labinis. So before you start talking on other people's things, look at yourself, man, because you've got Labinis too. You understand? There's nothing wrong with Labinis. You lot are making it seem like Labini's a bad thing. Well, I've made it half look like it's a bad thing because I don't like it in watches and Cubans. Full stop. I like it in other things. Do you understand? But yeah, man, the game's fucked. But if it's labs, there's nothing wrong with labs anyway. Do you get it? But if it's mozzies, then there's clearly there will be an issue. Like a man can't really defend nobody off of that. But yeah, Kalani proved that it's moissanite. And then, yeah, just make us shut up, innit?
See, I can't agree here because at the end of the day, moissanites, lab diamonds, cubic zirconias, they are fake diamonds. Like, regardless of them trying to say, oh, well, it was made in this way or made that way, if it's not naturally formed, it's not a proper diamond. It's worth nothing. All of those other diamonds, I'm telling you from here, if it's not naturally formed, and even natural formed diamonds, like, it's only based on the price that someone's willing to pay. Whereas gold and all those things, they have a solid actual markup price. You can't compare these prices because there's so many different styles of diamonds, types of diamonds. The list goes on and on. But if LB the jeweler is selling a chain which he has put up as VVS's, right, to say that they're now lab diamonds is really a big hit. And that would really knock business for him totally because we're expecting to come to you for natural VVS diamonds. And you're now trying to use the word lab or diamonds, VVS's, right, to describe lab diamonds, which in my head is cubic zirconias. I know that cubic zirconias come up fake, but lab diamonds have been designed in a way to make sure that they're able to beat these scanners. So that's my main issue with that statement. I don't believe that if this guy is now promoting something as VVS's, he should allow to be able to promote VVS lab diamonds. It just doesn't make sense. We'll find out if this situation progresses. But like I said, I'm gonna stick with my boy LB. You lot tell me what you lot think about this situation. Do you think it's malice intent from the jeweler in Canada, or do you think he's just been found out after being robbed? You lot let me know.